Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah, in the previous video, I've been explaining to you that how we can actually achieve total physical wellness and energy. This is very important, especially if we as the transforming ummah, the younger generation of the Muslims throughout the world, if we want to change the world, we must self be physically very healthy and active. So to do that, we have to change our lifestyle and change our diet, and many tips that I'm going to give it to you today and subsequently, so that you know how to go about with it. Because as mentioned previously, our wellness and vibrancy in life is dependent on the four rims of what Allah has endowed with us. Allah endowed us with the spiritual rim, emotional, mental, and the physical rim. And what controls our wellness, even though at the physical level, is our emotional, mental, and spiritual rim. So this holistic existence must be brought forth in the 21st century, because right now we are having an existence, even in the physical rim, that is highly toxic, highly unhealthy, highly causing a lot of problems, not only in terms of physical wellness, a lot of problems in terms of mental health, a lot of anxiety, depression, suicide, addiction, and you name it. This whole 21st century secular civilization, so-called the pinnacle of modernization, is now being threatened, is now in a limbo, because they have no solution. For example, in the West, they have a lot of psychological counseling centers, more and more, but the problem is not solved because of the toxic lifestyle at all levels of existence. That means spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical. And I want to tell you how we can actually overcome it. For example, if you want to have physical wellness, you must take control of your mind. Remember, our mind. And our mind is linked to our emotion, because as I explained to you, the FET model, feeling, emotion, and thinking, thoughts, actually come subsequent to the feelings and emotion. And the feelings and emotion loop are actually together. So the mental and emotional loop, they are actually working together. Alright, this is the first level of loop. But you must understand that this is also linking this way and linking this way. So your spiritual loop is also interacting. So all this is the holistic integration of your spiritual, emotional, mental self. But if you say it is mental, just for the purpose of this discussion, we are talking about thoughts. So thoughts resides in your mental, your mind, your brain, all right, both conscious and subconscious mind. And it will then work with your emotion, and it will work with your spirituality. So this emotion, mental loop that we are going to talk about is very important, because if you cannot control this, you cannot control your life, and your thoughts will then direct you towards this toxic lifestyle that is affecting this world today. For example, if we talk about the kind of thoughts that we are being fed, our children, our grandchildren, ourselves, through the media, through the television, through the video games, through the internet, through WhatsApp, through all the video, what do you think? What kind of input that you are getting? It is toxic input. For example, children now, they are being fed with video games that is horrible, gory, ghostly, killing, murder, shooting, and it's all blood spattered all over in the video system. So what do you get, the outcome of that? The outcome would be the frame of mind at the children's level, even at 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. It is no more normal anymore. They are living in fear. And when they're living in fear, then they are actually having stress. And when they're having stress, they have anxiety. And when they have anxiety, they have depression. So this is the whole cycle, not because of anything, but because of just the lifestyle of the evil of the mass media, the evil of video games, the evil of television, that has percolate towards this level that our children are no more normal. I mean, in the good old days, for example, for myself, we live in the small area where we have a lot of outdoor activities. We go fishing, we go crabbing, we go, fruits plucking. We have all the time activities outside the house, all right? And we have wonderful games. We play all kind of games, all right, as children. And we are not bounded by the screen, whether it is the handphone screen or the television screen or the laptop screen, whatever screen. But today we are bounded by that, and we are getting this input. This imprint is highly toxic. And I can show you many proof of how this highly toxic imprint is destroying our children, our grandchildren. So we have to really break free, because there's no hope for the future if our children are growing up having anxiety problem, having depression, having addiction, having obesity, having sugar type of drink just to keep alive, having to take all kind of pills, all right, to keep them ADHD, to maintain their hyperactivity, and having to take sleeping pills, they need to sleep. What kind of world are we creating? So this is very important. So the toxic lifestyle I'm talking about encloses this whole spectrum. And if we feed our children in their mind all this nonsense that we are seeing today, naturally we have a fearful child who is not normal, who will have anxiety problem, who will have depression, and naturally when they have anxiety and depression, they'll tend to eat. And what kind of diet we are giving them? We are giving them sugar. And I can tell you, sugar is a drug worse than narcotics. It's worse than heroin. Why? I'll explain to you in a moment later. But most important, remember, we Muslims have the solution. The solution is that we turn ourselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as our creator. We submit to Him and ask for His mercy and blessings to our ibadah. We have this emotion of love. Love to Allah, love for the Prophet, love for our family, ourselves, love for all humanity. We have this love, all right? We have this positive mindset, which I'm trying to imbue to all the younger generation, this transforming generation, positive Islamic psychology, a transcendent model to achieve peace, happiness, and success in the 21st century. So we are framing a positive model. And then we overcome the addiction of this physical world, because everything in the physical realm today is addiction. Addiction to what? Pornography. Addiction to video games. Addiction to sugar. Addiction to cakes. Addiction to, you name it. From the highest hierarchy to the lowest hierarchy, it is either things that we think is good for us, but it is actually destroying us because of this 21st century toxic lifestyle that encompasses the four realms of toxicity. The toxicity against spirituality, the toxicity that is affecting our emotions, negative emotions, our thoughts that are completely negative, and naturally the physical outcome is a physical disaster that if we do not take care in future, all the hospitals in the world, whatever advanced medicine that they can have, cannot solve this problem. It all goes back to this first fundamental idea. How are we going to change as an ummah? We have the greatest opportunity now, because in the West, they are looking around. A lot of people in the West are looking around. How can we have a holistic lifestyle that is non-toxic, that we can bring our children healthy, happy, fulfilling, achieving the best, fulfilling the best, and receiving the best as a true and sincere servant of Allah, always striving to achieve, to make themselves good, to help others to be good, and make this world good. Inshallah. See you in the next video.